Hi there, it's Coco Selman. I'm back again with the Being Remarkable vlog, and thank you very much for being here. We are continuing on a conversation that we've been having about patching a leaky cup. So, when you are creating something remarkable or building something that you deeply desire or manifesting a desire you have in your life, we want to fill up your cup with good stuff, but we also want to be conscious of the things that are causing your cup to leak. And again, inside your cup is your power and your belief that it's possible for you to have what you want, and your belief in yourself that you can manifest what you desire, that you're worthy, that you can, that it's there for your taking. So we are talking about all the things that would keep you from that. And this is just as important as the things that you're doing in the service of getting your desire fulfilled or manifested. So last time on the last issue, I invited you to create a list of all the things that would keep you from having something that you desire. So I want you to bring back into focus something that you really want. And I've been working with these three different desires that can give you an example of what I mean. So one desire might be that you want to have a closer relationship with your spouse. So it could be with anybody, right? So you could apply this in relationships where you have a relationship with your child or your husband or your friend or your supervisor, and perhaps something is not the way you want it. Maybe it doesn't feel good, or you feel stressed, or it's not as close as you want, or you feel sad about it for some reason. So that's an example of a desire. Another desire could be that maybe you want to lose 5 pounds, something very specific. You want to lose 5 pounds and you want to do the things that are in the service of helping you lose your 5 pounds. A third example we're going to use is that maybe you're unhappy in your job. And so your desire is to create happiness in your work. And you want to have a job that you love, that makes you feel great, that is meaningful for you, that you feel alive and growing and like it's fun, like you're doing something every day that brings you joy. So those are three examples of desires, and we're going to look at those three desires and illustrate through those three desires how the leaky cup works. Today I'm going to talk to you about one thing that causes a leaky cup. It's called habits, okay? So unconscious habits that are working against you. So these are the things that you might be doing all the time that are probably very unconscious, that are counterproductive to your desire. You might even be telling yourself that some of these habits that you have are just part of who you are, that it's just part of your personality, it's the way you've always done things, it's just the way you are. And so the idea here is to sort of identify what those things are with love and acceptance, and we're not today going to talk about changing anything. We're just going to expose the things that are causing your leaky cup. And over the next couple of sessions, we'll talk about how to evolve those thoughts or those behaviors, or in this case, habits, and so that they can actually be helpful to you. So we're not going to erase them. I'm not going to make you do things you don't want to do. We're just simply going to identify sort of the counterproductivity of some things. And you'll start to see that the goal here is for you to see that you are powerful, that you are creating exactly what you've aligned yourself to do. And if you were to create a different alignment at some point, not today, then you could have the things you want. And it's all in your power. It's not about the world outside of you. So today we're going to look at habits. So ask yourself, with your desire, what habits that you have every day, every week, every month, what habits are counterproductive to your desire? Just think about, what are the habits that are counterproductive to whatever it is that your desire is? So let's look at this for the first example. So maybe you have a desire to have a closer relationship with someone. I'm going to say in this example with your spouse. And you want to look for things that you do that maybe aren't so productive. Okay, so now we're thinking about your relationship, a relationship. And the idea here is, what are the habits that are keeping you from having that relationship be strong? So it could be that you come home from the end of the day and you want to have close time with your spouse, but whenever you come in and you're tired and you're crabby, and the first thing you do is you complain because the dishes in the dishwasher or the dishes in the sink are dirty. Or maybe you have a habit where every night you're tired again and you get into bed and you turn on the television and you don't connect with the person in your life that you love, right? Or maybe it's that you have a habit that whenever they bring up an unpopular subject, that you get quiet, or maybe you get defensive, or maybe you have the habit of getting sad or passive aggressive. So just look and see, what are the sort of daily habits that don't contribute to the relationship that you're wanting to create? What are the little things you're doing throughout the day that you have a good excuse? There's a perfectly good excuse, right? That could, you're tired and you've had a long day. So of course it makes sense you come home and be sad or be frustrated. Or you have a good excuse that you did the dishes last night, so you should feel like, wow, why aren't they doing the? There's perfectly good reasons for why you feel, but just notice that it's this habit that you're doing that is causing a deterioration in the way the relationship is working. And it's causing that habit of every time you come in the door, you're seeing it a particular way, and it's affecting you. It's making you angry, or it's things that you're doing that are preventing a moment of connection from happening. Or maybe it's you get up on Saturday mornings and you could have an opportunity to go do something together, but you don't, because your habit is to do something different, right? So look and see how that might be. It also could be that you, in a work situation, if you're not having a good relationship, look for all the ways that you don't communicate. You intentionally don't. Like maybe it's your habit to send an email instead of have a one-on-one meeting. Or maybe it's your habit to reschedule all your one-on-one meetings. Or it's your habit when you're in the meeting with the person that you avoid the difficult part of the conversation. You avoid talking about things that are not working. Or you avoid expressing the things you wish you had or need from that person. So just identify, these are habits. These are things that you're doing, and you're probably doing them all the time. And so this is the example for a relationship. Now, let's look at another one that's very quite tangible, like, okay, I'd like to lose weight. And so what are some things that a person might do that might be a habit that would not be in the service of losing weight? So let's say your habit is to get up in the morning and go to Starbucks, and every morning you love to get your cappuccino, and it's, it's filled with the extra whipped cream on top, right? So obviously that's probably not going to be in the service of you losing weight. It could be a habit that you don't get up in time, right, to go for a walk or get some exercise. And so that might be a habit that's working against you. Maybe you have a habit of not eating all day and then coming home and being starving, and then you eat the first thing that's in your house, and because you have a habit of going to the grocery store and filling your house with foods that your kids might like but are really bad for you, you just go ahead and munch on the things that are bad for you. So you have a habit of going to the grocery store and buying bad foods for others, and you have the habit of not eating all day and then coming home starving, and then you're like feeling starving and you eat the first thing and it's not a sliced cucumber with some beautiful grilled salmon. So you could see these are habits that They're not bad. They're not bad habits. They're just habits. They're things you're doing that aren't in the service of your desire. And they're just there in your life. And without exposing them to your consciousness, you might think that you can't lose weight because you're trying in all these different ways, but it's not working because, it's out of your control and you're just not able to have what you want, right? But really, if you start to look and be honest, you can see there are some things that are going on that might be affecting your ability to do the things you want. So now let's move on to the last one. Maybe you enjoy your job. Maybe you want to enjoy your job, but you're unhappy about it. So what are the things, and this is sometimes hard, this one can, in any of your area of your life where you want to be happy that you're not, you can use this as an example. There are habits that we have that keep you from being happy in your life. But let's talk about your job for a second. Let's say you want your job to be better. We want to like it more. You want it to be what you want. So what are habits that you have that might be keeping you from feeling happy? One of the biggest habits that we have in our lives is complaining. So if you're someone who comes in and complains about anything, anytime you hear a complaint come out of your mouth, it's a habit. We complain out of habit. We complain out of the belief we can't have what we want, so we do the thing, which is complain. And it's everywhere. So when you're at work and you complain, well, so-and-so isn't doing their job, and so now I have to do it. Or you might have the habit of saying that this isn't my job, this isn't my role, and somebody's telling me I have to do it. And so there's a disconnect between what you want and what is being said. So you're frustrated about that, right? So you have a habit of reminding yourself or complaining about that thing. So that's another place. It could also be a habit where you just repeat over and over again a specific thought. Maybe the thought that no one cares or no one's appreciating you. I work so hard, nobody appreciates me. And it might appear in all kinds of moments throughout your day. So look and see, what are things you're doing that would keep you from enjoying your job? Are you complaining to others? Are you complaining to yourself? Are you doing things with a bad attitude? Where do you have a bad attitude? Let's just be honest. Where do you have a bad attitude? Are there people in your business or your work environment that you're frustrated with? Like that's a habit. It's a habit to be frustrated with that person. Is there something that you're not telling them? Is there something you're not asking them? Is there a structure you're not providing for them? So it's not so much that we're blaming or doing anything like that on ourselves. Right now we're just exposing the idea that we have a desire, and now we go into our lives and we have some habits, things we do all the time, that do not make it seem like we're moving towards what we desire, or what we have is not what we want. So I invite you to think openly, because the more you can see this, the more empowered you'll be. The more you resist this, the more your life is going to stay stuck. No, I'm doing everything right. I'm doing everything I can. It's everybody else's fault. Guess what? You have a very leaky cup. You have a very leaky cup. And it's not because you're to blame. It's because you just haven't allowed yourself to see that you're powerful enough to move beyond these simple things, these simple habits. So I invite you to go ahead and make a quick list and see what they are, and just know that behind them lives your power. Okay? Knowing that they're there is the first step. All right. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget, make the world a better place. Thanks.